Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Slasher Club. As usual, we will be doing our usual horror movie reviews, but we have some news. We may be thinking of doing a second day of reviews. Would you like to tell them about that, Cameron, before we get down to Scream?
Yeah. So we were thinking about, the Slasher Club is all about, slashers, and that is only one subgenre of horror. There's so many other types of horror films that deal with the paranormal, that deal with monsters, that deal with ghosts. So we're thinking about a second line of reviews that are still within the horror or thriller genre, but capture other things outside of the slasher genre.
And maybe after that, we may do possibly Star Wars or Disney or anime. It depends. So if you guys have any ideas, put them out. Send them to us in our comments or on our social media. So now let's get down to the topic. Scream 4, 2011.
Yes, this movie takes place about 12, 13 years after the last entry, which was a Scream 3. The intro to the film, in a nod to Scream 2, is all about sequels and their overabundance of false beginnings. Long story short, we see the beginnings to Stab films 6 and 7, and it leads into another set of murders happening in Woodsboro that ultimately coincides with Sidney Prescott's book tour. She is now a published author. She has a life of fame and success for the most part. But she hasn't let that get to her. She's still the Sidney Prescott that we know, but she is a lot more well-rounded, a lot more accomplished, a lot more mature. So we have all the surviving characters from the previous films. We have Sidney Prescott. We have Dwight Riley, who is now the sheriff. He's no longer the deputy, but the sheriff. No longer has the characteristic limp that he got in the second film. And then, of course, we have Gail Weathers, who is now married to Dwight, so Gail Riley. So, long story short, we have our returning characters, and then we have the new, younger generation, where most of the body count comes from this younger generation.
And, as we'll get into later, we'll let you guys know on all the references to the original Scream. But for now, director is Wes Craven. Sadly, this is his last movie before he died in 2015. It was produced by Wes Craven, Aya LaBanco, which is Wes Craven's wife, and Kevin Williamson. It was written by Kevin Williamson. Thank God he came back for this movie, since he technically didn't write the third one. Music is again by Marco Beltrami, which I'm pretty sure it's going to change for the next two reviews. Film locations: 1007 Lincoln Avenue, Ann Arbor, Michigan. U.S., Jill's house. Woodsworth Middle School, Michigan. U.S. High School. 1005 Lincoln Avenue, Ann Arbor, Michigan, U.S. Olivia's house. We have Neve Campbell back as Sidney Prescott. I'm surprised she decided to stay. I mean, you never see an actor come back for 4 movies.
No, I mean, even going back to one of Wes Craven's more iconic series, Nightmare on Elm Street, he only directed 2 of them, the first film and A New Nightmare, and his final girl, Nancy, she only appeared in 2 films, and she died in the third film.
Three.
Well, she plays herself in A New Nightmare, but you know what I mean? Like
1 and 3.
Huh?
She only came back in 1 and 3, basically, as Nancy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
But
so we do not have. We haven't really seen a final girl or a final character in horror that has endured this long.
Right. We have David Arquette back as Dewey Riley. We have Courtney Cox back as Gail Riley, or Gail Weathers. But I guess we should stop calling her Courtney Cox for this movie because she's technically Courtney Arquette. If you guys remember from the last...
There's even a joke in the film about, I never thought your relationship was like, in real life. I thought that was just from the movie.
And what's funny is, it's sad that they're already divorced. They divorced, I believe it was 2013.
Yes,
and
yeah.
At least they have a legacy from the movies. They have Coco Arquette, their daughter.
Oh.
Here's something funny. We've got Emma Roberts playing Jill Roberts. We've got Hayden Panettiere as Kirby Reed. We've got Rory Culkin as Charlie Walker. Eric Knudsen as Robbie Mercer. Nico Torella as Trevor Sheldon. Marielle Jaffe as Olivia Morris. We have Marley Shelton as Judy Hicks. Allison Brie as Rebecca Walters. Mary McDonnell as Kate Roberts. Amy Teagarden as Jenny Randall, and Britt Robertson as Maureen Cooper. My God, it is hot in that mask. Why do they make masks out of plastic?
Just probably because they're cheap. I mean, it's cheap to make it that way.
Alright. Onto the kill stats.
Alrighty, we got some good ones here. Unlike the last film, there's some interesting stats in here. We have more kills than any of the previous Scream films. We have 2 off-screen kills, 2 multi-stab kills, 3 stabbings, 1 person gutted, 1 person death by fall, 1 head stab, 1 death by gunshot, 1 electrocution for a total of 12 kills. We have 3 fake kills in the intro of Scream 4. There's the stab intros, and there are 3 kills in that. We have a total of 26 stabbing motions. So that's where the knife went into the body, or there was a slitting motion, some sort of stab or slit. 5 gunshots. 7 menacing phone calls, 1 menacing text or instant message, and 1 beating by bedpan. Yes.
Okay, on to the faves. We have, for me, Jenny Randall gets hit with new version of old classic. And here's the first reference. Jenny basically gets a new version of what Tatum got. Instead of there being a doggy door she could go through, she went under, had her back, I guess, crushed by a garage door, and then, she was stabbed, where Tatum just was hung or electrocuted by a garage door.
Yes.
What about you?
Oh, favorite kill or funniest kill? What are we doing here?
Favorite kill?
That would be Olivia's because of how it was the most brutal. And in fact, not only in this film, but the entire series. Her bedroom is like just coated in blood. It actually kind of reminded me a lot of the original Nightmare on Elm Street, where the bed was shooting out blood. There was quite a bit of blood in her room, and then she was ultimately gutted. So one of the most visceral in the entire franchise.
Yeah, I kind of like the line before that. I'm in the closet. Come on, open it. I didn't say that closet.
Yeah, no, the whole build up to it and everything. Yeah, it was a great scene.
Right, and on to the least favorite. That would be, for me, Trevor gets shot. I mean, really, they could have had better, and it was kind of hard-hitting for us men. I mean, the guy got shot in the dick.
Yeah, he got denutted. I mean, that's horrible.
And, again, I hate these movies where they just use shooting as a way of killing someone off pretty damn easy. I mean, I like the headshots at the ending, but I mean, wow, you couldn't have figured something better to kill the boyfriend with?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in the story, though, because Trevor is supposedly the killer, so there's not going to be that much of a creative kill for it because he is technically the killer. So, I see what you're saying. It would have been nice to see a more creative kill, but it works for the story.
Right. And I'm hoping we have the same funniest kill. Mine would be Robbie tries playing the gay card.
Oh, we actually have a different one.
Okay, well, we'll get to
Yeah.
talk about mine, and then we'll see how different yours is. I mean, you all know the rule in this movie. It's supposed to be a remake, so you have to basically be gay to survive. And Robbie uses this in the dumbest way. I mean, Scream kills him as he's on camera, and my God, I'm gay. I'm gay. Wait, I'm gay. Well, if it helps.
He loses his last bit of dignity just before he dies.
And seriously, you could have survived, but all you say, well, I'm gay if it helps. I'm just glad Ghostface just slaughters him. And his death is a callback to Stone from the third movie. If you pay attention, he's walking like Stone. He walks up to warn everybody as he's dying.
Yeah. I will say I liked... There was a lot more, like, tension with Robbie saying run, Like, when Stone kind of died, it was a little bit, comedic. But when Robbie's like, run, you're like, oh, wow, we're in it now.
Right. What about yours? You say you had a different one.
Yeah, I saw this movie in theaters, and my friend and I laughed our butts off at when Perkins gets stabbed in the head. He's gushing blood down his face, and his last line is, F. Bruce Willis, and then he passes out and dies.
Oh my God, how did I know you picked that one?
Well, it's like, if you got a full knife into your head, you're dead. You wouldn't have time to walk around or to say anything, and so...
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, and I'll get to the reason why in the facts.
But, they obviously played that one for comedic effect, and I felt like it really worked. So, my friend and I, when we saw it, we were just laughing, like, this is hilarious. Like, really funny, like on purpose. Like, they did a good job. It was funny.
Right. On to the facts. This was Wes Craven's last movie, as we said. He died in 2015. Amen, God of Horror. In 2010, oh, here's some funny info. Kathy Conrad filed a $3 million lawsuit against the Weinstein Company because they were supposed to give her company Cat Corp, I think it was called, half the profits, and she surprisingly won.
Yeah.
And they gave her.
They had a plan for a Scream 5. There was going to be a new trilogy. This film was supposed to set off a new trilogy, and unfortunately, the finances it didn't make the profitability that they were looking for, and it's really unfortunate because I really feel like Scream 4 brought back a lot of what was great about the original films, kind of what was missing in Scream 3, and it's just really unfortunate. If Scream 4 came out today, I think it would have been a lot more successful financially.
Same, but then again, there is Kathy Conrad that kind of ruined this.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
It follows the rules of a remake, basically. Kills are going to be different, the endings are going to be different, but you gotta remember, you can't fuck with the original.
Absolutely.
I mean, I watched this video a couple of days ago, or a couple of months ago. It was Scream versus Scream the TV show. It was both characters fighting each other, and you just watch, at the end, no offense, spoilers, thank you those who made the movie, but Scream from the movies literally said, don't fuck with the original, and kills TV Scream.
Yeah.
Well, then again, he also had an extra knife hidden inside. Oh, here's that kill I was talking about earlier. Anderson's death was based on a real-life medical emergency that Wes Craven watched on TV.
Huh.
Which, actually, the guy survived after being stabbed in the head. He made it to the emergency room and lived.
Was the guy's name Chuck Norris?
No. Sadly, no.
What about Bruce Willis?
Nope.
Oh, alright.
Scream 4 was supposed to be the beginning of another trilogy, as you said. The first movie where Dewey wasn't stabbed, but he was hit with a bedpan.
Multiple times.
Except there was 3 where he technically got hit in the head with a knife.
Yeah, the handle.
This is the first movie since Scream 1 to have the killer on the poster.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not the ghost face mask, but the actual killer. We actually see Jill on there. We see Billy on the, on Scream 1, but we don't see Mickey, we don't see Debbie Salt on 2, and we don't see, we don't see the killer from Scream 3 on there.
Yeah, Roman, yeah.
Yes. In the scene of Cinema Club, you can see posters from various other movies directed by Wes Craven. I actually didn't see these, but this was pointed out by a website. I can't remember the name of the website, but they did say you could see people under the stairs. I think Last House on the Left was on there.
Yes, and I know Last House on the Left also got mentioned in the film as well.
Right, in the remakes quiz.
Yeah.
She's just naming all the remakes. Dawn of the Dead, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Psycho,
What'd you think about that when you first saw it? Were you expecting Charlie to be the killer, like for him to stab Kirby at that moment?
No, actually, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, no,
I'm
me
still
too.
surprised.
Yeah, in the theater, there was an audible gasp. We were like, oh, like I think this was one of the. I mean, there's always a measure of who done it. You know, like who's the killer? For Scream 4, yeah, the killers were definitely a huge surprise. Like there was an audible gasp in the for both Charlie and Jill. Like we were like, what? You're telling me Sydney's cousin is one of the killers?
And actually, it's funny. They changed. I love how they brought back the two killers. I mean, 3, I guess it kind of worked. It was a little stupid, but stick with what you are good at.
Yes. As you mentioned, you know, Scream 3 was kind of tying up loose ends, and Scream 4 is technically, I mean, it's not a reboot, but they are playing off the concept of a reboot, so, I am glad that they came back with two killers. It just works better. It makes more sense, you know, because there's always one person that we are like, oh, this could be the killer, and then we see the killer and the person in the same scene, or they're on the phone call, and we're like, oh, no, then they can't be the killer. But it's like, later on, it's like, well, yeah, duh, there's two killers. That's how they pulled it off.
Or we never think. Maybe it's a recording.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the facts. First Scream film where the characters of the same gender were killed in the opening scene. If you notice, Scream 1, it was... What was the boyfriend's name?
Steve
and... Casey. Scream 2, it was...
Another couple.
Yeah, the guy that plays Foreman in House, and then his girlfriend. And then Scream 3.
Yeah, Cotton and his girlfriend.
Right. Here, we have... Crap, hold on, I have their names. They're the last two people I named. Marnie and Jenny.
Yeah.
Which, sadly, this movie... I'm mad they weren't the first movie to ever do a lesbian couple in the first scene.
That's funny you mention that, because we get that in the TV series.
Right. And if you guys know me, I think lesbians should finally be put in the movies. I mean, I was making a zombie movie back in high school. I lost all the footage because the the thumb drive broke, so I lost all that. I was making the two main characters a lesbian couple.
Ah.
But I mean, we've got gays, we've got two different sex couples. Where are the lesbian couples?
Well, I mean, I don't think, you know, the movie should, you know, try to check boxes off. I think they should just tell good stories. And if the characters happen to work in the scene, then put them in, you know. I think, you know, especially in today's culture of film, they worry too much about diversity and not storytelling. And we're seeing a dip in the quality of storytelling, unfortunately. So diversity is good when it's organic, you know? Like, I don't think Wes Craven's like, oh, hey, we should have a black couple in Scream 2. They're just like, oh, you know what? Who's really popular right now? Who's somebody... And, you know, and that's the way they go. And it fits the story. It fits... the narrative, it fits the
Well, technically
film, so.
they were playing on the trope of the black guy always dies first in every movie.
Okay.
I mean, Which is strange, because I don't remember a movie where the black guy dies first, other than Scream 2.
And it's the second film in a, technically a trilogy or a quadrilogy, so they didn't technically even die first because there's the whole first film.
Right.
Technically, so, yeah.
On to our second favorite part of this review, the favorite phrase. Mine, surprisingly, and I came up with this yesterday. What's your favorite scary movie? Bambi, dork.
I wrote a lot of quotes down, but I wrote these quotes down because I feel like there's truth in them. Dwight says, one generation's tragedy is the next one's joke, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. So, I can't tell you how many times. I was in high school during 9/11. I remember this is like a very vivid memory, and I see people making, jokes about 9/11 now. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. And, people make all sorts of, like, dark, humor jokes. And instead of history, people learning from history, we now kind of, like, look back at it, and it's like, oh, that won't ever happen to us. And so we kind of turned it into a joke, unfortunately.
Right. And then you got Tide Pods. People have died, children have died from drinking that, and now we turn it into a joke.
Yeah. I think if we wanted to update one generation's tragedy is the next one's joke today, it would be one generation's tragedy is a new meme.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, it's all about memes these days. But just really quickly, we were talking about the hero's journey in the past two films, and in this one we get a bit of closure on Sydney's hero's journey, because in every hero's journey there has to come a point where the hero has reached their climax. It's called apotheosis. It means like they've reached their God state, and Sydney reaches that in this film. She is a public figure. She is a person of notoriety, of inspiration. And the fact that she doesn't die in this film further cements the fact that she is the hero of these films. Like, they had every opportunity to switch the main character from Sydney to Jill. However, as we have both already gone over, you don't mess with the original. So Sydney is still, even though she has,
she's the OG!
She's the OG, exactly, So, in some ways, and I know you and I are probably going to disagree on this, I feel in a lot of ways Scream 4 did a lot of good things that, The Force Awakens that missed on, like that they could have done better, but that's for another video for another time, but,
Yeah, I do like The Force Awakens, but I can't agree with you. Again, I do agree it was a carbon copy of the first film to ever be made, but, you could say Luke is still the OG because you hear all this stuff about him being the new, Grand Master of the Jedi.
He was, I know you and I have talked about this before, but The Last Jedi, I feel really disrespected the legacy of Luke. Here's a man that, went through the hero's journey, much like Sidney Prescott. He was willing to give up his own life, even even putting the galaxy's future on the line to redeem his mass murdering father, but he doesn't have enough faith in his own nephew. It just shows that Sidney Prescott, her journey is like up and down, and then she ascends. She reaches new heights. Luke is up and down, and then he just goes down. There's never that moment of redemption that Sidney has.
Well, if you watch the ending of The Last Jedi, he does technically redeem himself when he saves the Resistance.
but he wasn't there. You know, Sydney would have been there. She would
Right.
have been there in person. So,
Right, back to the facts. This is the beginning. I mean, the beginning, it was interesting as hell. It was a double fake out. And when I first watched this, I was like, really?
yeah. No, same with my friend. With the first opening, he's like, is this seriously how the film opens? And I just told him, because I'd seen it once before. I went to the Thursday night show, and I'm like, dude, just wait.
I mean, originally, I thought the blonde was supposed to be the new killer after she stabs her friend. And then I just see... Screams... Stab 6? Are you... I mean, stab 7? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And at least for this movie, we didn't go down the route that Stab 4 decided to do. Time travel.
Time travel, yeah. Oh boy, that would have been bad.
Yep, it would have been worse than the space that every horror movie usually goes down to.
Oh, maybe Scream 5. They'll
No,
be in
no,
outer space.
no. You know my opinion on this.
Hey, maybe the premise of Scream 5 will be they want to do Stab 8 and put it in space, and so a new killer emerges to, stop the film from going into production, because it's like, you do not put a successful horror franchise in space unless you want to kill it.
You know, that actually would be perfect. But sadly, it's been confirmed we will never see a Scream 5.
Hey, never say never. I mean, there was, 12 years between Scream 3 and 4. Halloween, the Halloween that's coming out in a couple months, is, how much time has passed between. I say as long as Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette are alive, there's always a chance.
I guess so. And I mean, we still have Kevin Williamson.
Absolutely.
We just need another Wes Craven.
Or somebody like him. Or somebody that can breathe new life. Yeah,
Right. Oh, and here's a fact we have never had in a Scream movie. It's the first movie with a bra shot.
Oh.
Olivia, you see her bra in this movie. This is a shout out to the guy that got mad at me for the Friday the 13th list of ranks, because we did not rank them by, nude scenes.
Oh boy.
I don't remember your name, I will find you later. This is... The killers, I'm surprised, we're actually filming their kills in this movie. That has never been done from what I know. And I mean, even though Charlie said they should be filming, like most remakes, I have never seen a remake film their kills.
Yeah, there's really a lot of brilliance to Scream 4 that gives it the flavor of the previous films. There's a lot of wisdom, a lot of cleverness to the to the franchise, and Scream 4 brings that back. And I do believe a lot of that is because of Kevin Williamson. Yes, the killer is filming the kills. This is very much like going into social media culture and like how addicted we all are. When Jill says, I don't need friends, I need fans. Like, that just gets to the heart of the problem with part of the problem of our culture today, with not only the youth, but everybody. We put so much weight in our online lives instead of our real lives. And yeah, so that whole line of, I don't need friends, I need fans, is just, man, that hits.
Not that this is anything against you guys watching this. We want you to watch our videos. We don't see this as a whole big thing for those who watch our videos.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a. It's a critique, but it's not a condemnation. If that makes any sense, it's like, hey, be mindful that there is also the real world. Like it's okay to disconnect every now and then, but yeah, we're all addicted to social media. I mean, I spend most of my time online at work, social, for research, for all sorts of things, for school, whatever facet of my life. A lot of it is online. Even for things like church, a lot of the stuff that I do for research for church or for study is online.
And if you guys pay attention to Killer Flicks, this guy, I think he posts every day.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, sometimes it's controversial. I'm not trying to be controversial, but I guess sometimes when I post on Killer Flicks, I'm clearly trying to joke, and people are like, I guess get hostile. You've seen it too, like
Right.
people act like I've insulted them. I'm like, whoa, guys, we're all joking around here because Killer Flicks is like, we're all friends, even though we don't really know each other. We've never met. I know you've stalked outside my home, Slasher Dude, but outside of that, we've never really met, and so
Right.
but we're all kind of friends. We're all part of a community, if you will.
And there's another person I want to mention that posts every day on Killer Flicks. I believe his name is Connor.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Connor. Thank you for all the posts you do every day on Killer Flicks. Even though all I do for most of them is like them, I do appreciate them. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think we got way off topic in this.
Hey, we've had some big discussions though in this film, so I chalk it all up to a success. So, but let's get into our summation of the film. What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
Oh, right. We're on opinions. If you guys don't remember, I was saying for the beginning of this review, we were going to do a list of the references.
Oh, do you have them?
I don't have I have a metaphorical list. Like, if you watch, who was it that got thrown out the... Oh, Bree. She got thrown off the garage, the hospital garage, which is supposed to be reminiscent of, Sydney jumping out the window onto the boat in Scream 1, and Scream 3, Tyson getting thrown out the window, and Scream 2, I don't remember.
Cece, the sorority girl.
Right, now I remember, yeah. So, this was a callback to most of the movies. Again, I said Tatum's death, there was a callback to that with with Jenny, and then there was that callback with Stone, with Robbie. I guess you could say Charlie and Robbie were supposed to be the stew, or they were supposed to be... No, wait. Robbie was supposed to be a combination of... Randy, yes. But also, Charlie was supposed to be the Randy, but also, like, the stew of the movie.
Huh.
Because he was technically the fall guy in the movie. And they did make a reference to the original, saying, come on, stab me in the shoulder like Billy did to Stu. Do it, come on! Oh, this wasn't right. You stabbed me in the heart.
And how true is that? I mean, because, it's very clear that he had feelings for Kirby, but there was obviously some sort of a romance going between him and Jill. I mean, they kissed before she killed him.
Right, and I guess that's supposed to be a reference to what it was originally supposed to be for Scream 3, where it was, again, I forget his name.
Stu?
No.
Randy?
No. The killer in Scream 3.
Oh, Roman.
Roman and Angela, I think her name was, were supposed to be lovers, and Angela was supposed to be the second killer.
Yeah. That would have been more, that would have been a little bit more interesting that he had part of what makes the one killer thing feel kind of odd is just like, how could he have done all of that on his own, It just...
Especially when he was in that police station during part of the movie, and yet there was still a killer.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting if there was, if Roman actually had a silent partner.
Right, which, thank God they kept that in the TV series, which we will get into next week.
Yeah.
But this movie, I think, deserves an 8.9.
Yeah.
Or a 9.4.
Oh. So you put it above 3. Would you put it above 2?
I would. Oh, wait, I just remembered. I think I skipped a page for Scream 4. Hold on. Getting there. I have a lot of white pages. Oh, here it is. It was after The Funniest Kill. The soundtrack was okay, but they really could have done better. The only songs I liked were Devils by Say Hi, Denial by Stereo Black, and Karma, which was the ending theme for Scream before the whole, I guess, redo of the original ending song. Which I believe was called Don't Mess with the Original. Or Joe's America. I think, yeah, it was Joe's America. But yeah, surprisingly I only liked 3 songs out of this, because they were more, a little too poppy for me.
I hear you.
I mean, I get...
Yeah, I like... there's 2 songs by a band called The Sound, and I'm a big fan of them. Kind of like a pop synth type of group, so...
I can see that, but yeah, I'd say a 9.4.
Yeah, my current ranking, I guess, would be... shoot, I forgot what I did. I think I put it at 2, 1, 4, and then 3.
Huh? Oh, you're talking about the order that you rank the movies.
Yeah, I definitely put Scream 4 ahead of Part 3, but it comes close to, the good things of the first 2 films, but obviously there's just so much, that's iconic about Scream 1 and 2 that unfortunately, I just wish this film got a little bit more attention,
Right. But we will discuss this when we decide to make that whole list of the ranks.
Yes.
But, so yeah, this has been our review on Scream 4. We hope you enjoyed it, and any final words?
Yeah, the slasher film will always endure. You want to know why? Because there's something real about a guy with a knife who just snaps.
My God, it was bad. And remember, all you need is a knife, fans, and a camera to cause a good horror movie. We'll see you guys next week for Scream, the TV show, Season 1. Good night, everybody.